Now let's put our explosion in a movie. I'll be adapting our explosion with Final Cut. You could, of course, use a different program.
Now we do need the explosion. I've called it adjusted explosion and I've clicked on it. And here it is in our frame. What I did with the explosion was I exported it and then I imported it into this new project. Now I'm using Final Cut and I've already captured a number of scenarios where our mercenary comes along and will be blown up. I've chosen the second one simply because the framing isn't that bad. If I was actually making a movie, I would frame a lot better than I did here. I've already noted the beginning and end of the sequence I want to use, and this marker here is a marker for where I want to put the explosion. We'll just play it once from in to out. The explosion. Here I'm getting ready to jump. When it hits the marker, then bang, and there I go. And just before he jumps, that's where the explosion will go. And I put this post here because this is where I'm going to center the explosion. Now I've got the mercenary ready. I'm going to put him in my sequence. Then I'm going to move my cursor to the marker and mark that as an in spot.
Now I've already marked the beginning and end of my adjusted explosion, so only the parts I want to use will be included.
And I'm going to superimpose it. Now it is in the video. If we look here, we can see the explosion. It's opaque, and actually it's blocking out our main sequence. If you were using something like iMovie, which you really don't have these adjustment capabilities, you can simply write over it. Now, we don't want it to be opaque. We want you to be able to see the mercenary underneath this. I'm going to go over here and remove the in marking there. I don't want that. Then I'm going to go down here and click on that frame. Then go up to Effects and select Video Filters and go down to Key. It's under Key on Final Cut, and use what is called the Luma key.
Here's a full screen of it.
Explosion is in this frame, and if we go to Filters, we see our Luma key is there. The default is to key out brighter. We want to key out darker. Now, if you look at the explosion, you can see that the light part shows and the dark part is transparent. In order to make the background show up a little bit better, I'm going to increase the threshold a bit. Then we're done with the Luma key. Now we have an explosion where the dark part of the frame is all clear and we can see our character in the background. But we also have to move the explosion. The explosion didn't take place right on top of him. We want the explosion to be right over here on our post. It has to take place next to him, but not right on top of him. We'll clear the in and out. And then we'll simply play it. Now that's not too bad, but we can improve it very simply by going back to our superimposed explosion and clicking on it. And we'll add another filter to it. This is a matte filter, or it's under matte filters in Final Cut. It might be somewhere else in a different program. And we'll use soft edges. Now again, we have to go up to the filter. We have round edges, and we want to adjust the left filter. We're going to have to go back to the video here for a second. And we're also going to have to go back to it over here so we can see it. We're going to have to adjust the left filter. We can actually move the left boundary of the explosion in a bit. That will make our video work better. We also can enable the fade button. That is, we make this line here visible. We click a point there, and then when we go to the end, we can actually have it fade out, the explosion fade out at the end. And then we'll render this. And then we'll play it again and see how we do.
And that's it. You can fine-tune it to make it look a little bit better, but basically that's how you insert an explosion.